Just them white folk, Boosie, you done got too much. You done let these niggas play you too mother. This internet book dumb and bitch. Say what Lil Tootie gonna do now? What Lil Tootie say? Listen, Vlad TV. Vlad post everybody going to jail but Boosie. Somebody tag Vlad TV.
I ain't really got no opinion on him because, my opinion can send me to prison.
Boosie, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow mother. The long hair.
Slap Kanye West, that's where he was wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people.
Boosie going to jail! Oh, God! Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street got no God. God do not look out the street. Boosie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that film. I knew he was going. I just waited.
The tension between Boozie and Charleston White didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was brewing for a minute, and everyone knew it was only a matter of time before it exploded online. This was the kind of drama the internet eats up like it's a full-course meal.
Why they talk to him? Why do Boosie get all the love? As if he the killer. Mm-hmm. And Boosie ain't no mother killer. You can slap Boosie and that bitch don't do nothing. Mm-hmm. You can slap Lil Boosie, that don't do nothing. Lil Marlo was the killer. Lil Boosie ain't had a fight with nobody. That you punch him in the nose, that bleed to death because he a diabetic. You can't give him no black eye. He'll die. He'll diabetic.
Charleston's whole brand lives off chaos. He makes his name by talking reckless, poking at people's pride, and daring them to bite back. That's his hustle. Find a name that gets clicks, roast them mercilessly, and ride that wave of attention until the next target shows up. He'd already thrown shots at rappers, community leaders, and even athletes. But when he decided to toss Boozie's name into his circus act, he crossed into dangerous territory.
Boosie going to jail! Oh, God! Oh, God is good. I keep telling y'all, street, he got no God. God do not look out the street. Boosie really thought he wasn't going to jail for that film. I knew he was going. She going to jail. All that newborn baby. Boosie won't get to see that newborn baby till that baby be walking and talking. Boosie going to jail.
Your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow mother. The long hair freak. That little don't know how to fight either. Get them y'all babies just rapper.
See, Boozie isn't the type to sit quietly when someone's running their mouth, especially when it comes to his family. At first, Charleston kept it light. Well, light for him anyway. He made slick comments about Boozie being washed up, joked about his career fading, trying to pass it off as harmless trolling. But everybody knows Charleston doesn't stop until he finds that one weak spot, the moment that makes the whole internet gasp. And he found it when he started talking about Boozie's son, Tootie. That's when people said, wait, hold up. This ain't just jokes anymore. Charleston went too far. He bragged about trying to get Tootie in trouble, running his mouth like it was a game. But everyone knows Boozie doesn't play when it comes to his kids. At first, Boozie stayed calm. He didn't hop on live or start shouting back like Charleston wanted. But the more Charleston doubled down, the more he kept saying Tootie's name, the thicker that tension got. Like the whole situation was about to blow.
Saw one dude said he said he's the one who got your son arrested. How do you feel about stuff like that?
Who got my son arrested?
Then you said Charleston White went on the record.
I don't know, man. I don't fuck with Charleston White. That nigga, they're Prush. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm keeping that nigga name out my mouth. That's a threat to my success.
Yeah.
Charleston White. He ain't hiding. Charleston White gonna get your ass locked up.
Yeah.
So, shit, I've been ducking that smoke with Charleston.
That's the only smoke I ever heard Boosie say he ducking.
That's some smoke you don't want, man.
Man.
I ain't trying to have no man calling no DAs on and all this on me. That's real shit.
Yeah.
It's real fake shit.
People got to realize, right? If you look at our community, I don't understand why people make threats online. Why they
Finally, Boozie stepped in front of the camera. He didn't raise his voice or throw out wild threats, but the message was crystal clear. It was that quiet, cold kind of warning that lets you know things just got real. Boozie didn't have to scream or threaten. He just let the weight of his words hang in the air like thunder. Don't ever come for my kids. Don't drag my family into your circus. That line hit hard. The internet went wild instantly. Clips of Boosie's warning spread across every platform, with fans arguing in the comments like it was a digital boxing match. Some people were cheering him on, saying, "That's exactly what a real father does." Others were nervous, thinking Charleston was baiting Boozie into something messy that could backfire. But one thing was clear: Charleston had crossed a line that even the internet couldn't laugh off.
I ain't really got no opinion on him, because, my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really, I ain't really got no opinion. Once you go to threaten people's kids, talking about me, I ain't the one gonna do all that. Certain people, you can't really express opinion.
Boosie feels pretty good. He feels like the judge is.
He don't feel good. You see how low his energy is.
I mean, well, he says this judge seems pretty cool.
Man, he just saying that to kiss ass because they watch it. I used to say the same shit, and the judge kept revoking my bond. Oh, that nigga bit the pillar in an interview. You haven't you ever seen a gangster in an interview, nigga? That nigga under pressure and stress. Come on, my not playing. He facing 15. Homie, don't you know he got a turd in his ass? Because those 5 murders is part of relevant conduct that goes into the PSI. Even though he beat it, they still bring it up as an arrest. The Boosie record don't put him on a cakewalk, yo. He going where he got to really be in danger and in fear, no matter who he is.
What most people didn't realize, though, was that this whole beef had roots going way deeper. Back to when Kanye West wore that White Lives Matter shirt. Remember that moment? The culture exploded overnight. Half the people defended Kanye, the other half dragged him, and the debates got ugly. Boozie was one of the loudest voices calling Kanye out for it, saying Kanye was disrespecting his own people and turning serious movements into clout-chasing fashion. That's when Charleston saw his opening. Instead of standing with Boozie, he flipped the whole narrative. He started mocking Boozie, calling him out like, "Who are you to talk?" Charleston said Boozie wasn't the right man to speak on anything serious, labeling him a hypocrite and accusing him of using outrage for attention.
Slap Kanye West, that's where he was wrong at, homie.
Yeah.
Why slap him for what, nigga? When you had a 15-year-old hitman, nigga, that murdered black people. The little kid got life without parole. Why would he slap Kanye West, a man with biracial white children, embracing the concept and the notion that black and white lives matter?
He brought you up because you were attacking Kanye because of the.
Nah, this Kanye West shit just happened. Nigga been coming at me. He been coming at me. It's just, I can't respond to those people, bro. Like, that's a danger to what I got going on. You can't take no risk of losing this shit behind,
From that moment, Charleston had found his new obsession. Anytime Kanye made headlines, he dragged Boosie's name into it like clockwork, keeping their names tied together like some twisted publicity stunt. And every time, the internet bit the bait. But Charleston didn't stop there. He loved stirring the pot too much. When he saw the clicks and chaos coming from his Boozie rants, he decided to take things up a notch. He started hinting at jail time, saying wild stuff like, "Jail gonna be for something, don't play no police game."
I ain't really got no opinion on him because, my opinion can send me to prison. So I ain't really, I ain't really got no opinion on him. Once you go to threaten people's kids, talking about you gotta lie. So, I ain't the one gonna do all that. I ain't gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey. Certain people you can't really express opinions on, and he one of those. You can't express how you feel because you might end up in prison. And I ain't getting tricked off the streets.
In jail, waiting for the FBI to send me the right kind of number, because I'm finna make a report on your mother people. And you make the man call your name specifically. The promoter specifically said your mother name, Lil Boosie. He implemented you and implicated you. To go to jail, back to jail. You gonna be on your knees, but them knees gonna be bleeding.
Then, out of nowhere, he shifted his aim again. This time toward another rapper's kid, King Harris, T.I.'s son. It was clear Charleston wasn't just picking fights anymore. He was building an empire out of controversy. Charleston went full throttle when he started talking about King Harris. He called King spoiled, soft, and claimed he was just pretending to be street when everyone knew he grew up rich. He even laughed at his hair, his clothes, his whole style, straight clowning him for views. Then he took it a step further, saying King was headed to jail like it was a punchline. That wasn't just trash talk, it was pure disrespect. King wasn't about to let that slide. He hopped on Instagram Live, eyes locked on the camera, and fired back hard. He told Charleston straight up that if they ever ran into each other in person, it was gonna be a real problem. No jokes, no games, just energy. That's when things went from wild to explosive. Just like Boozie, T.I. wasn't gonna sit by and let a grown man come for his son. Tip stepped in, calm but fierce, making it clear Charleston had crossed another line that you just don't cross. He said loud and proud that he'd always protect his boy and that nobody was gonna mess with his child's name. Now, this wasn't just another internet spat. It was two rap legends, Boozie and T.I., both furious, standing shoulder to shoulder in defense of their families. Their sons were clapping back, fans were losing their minds, and Charleston, he was sitting there smirking like he'd just hit the jackpot in a chaos casino.
Hey, you was a bitch, boy. Man, we was about to whoop your ass when you come back down here from telling. I can see you had a soft.
If your boy jump on me, y'all will bury that yellow motherfucker. I shoot him right in his goddamn throat. Look, I wish an 18, 19-year-old nigga would jump on me. Boy, I Trayvon Martin, that little motherfucker. I swear to God.
Every time Charleston ran his mouth, it went viral. Every time Boozie or T.I. responded, it spread like wildfire. And King's IG Live, it was replayed nonstop. People debated for days. Was King really about that life? Or was this just another internet moment gone too far? It was messy, it was loud, it was drama in 4K, and nobody could look away. But underneath all that noise, the truth was clear as day. This wasn't just about clout anymore. This was about family. In the streets, in hip-hop, in real life, there's one unspoken rule. You don't come for a man's kids. Charleston thought he was untouchable, moving reckless and loud, always hiding behind that same excuse. They can't touch me, I'll just call the cops. But this time, even that shield was starting to crack. That I'll call the cops card is Charleston's secret weapon, his ace up the sleeve. It's what makes him feel bold enough to talk reckless about legends and even their kids without breaking a sweat. But when you really zoom out and look at this situation, it wasn't just some internet show. It was deeper than that. This was a real test of respect, a test of pride, and a test of what a man will do when someone disrespects his family. Boozie's warning hit different because it wasn't for clout. It came straight from the heart. You could feel the air shift when he spoke. It wasn't entertainment anymore. It was real emotion, a father defending what he loves. And T.I., same energy. He wasn't jumping in to protect King's rapper image. He was stepping up as a dad, as a man. That energy is heavy, the kind that makes everyone stop scrolling for a second. But Charleston kept shrugging it off like it was all just another day of trolling. What's crazy is that all this chaos started from something as simple as a shirt. Kanye West's White Lives Matter stunt cracked open a door and Charleston kicked it wide open. Boozie called Kanye out, not for drama, but because he genuinely felt disrespected on behalf of the community. He spoke up for a lot of people who couldn't say it out loud, but Charleston saw that as a golden opportunity. He twisted it, flipped the narrative, and used it to pull the spotlight onto himself. He thrives off that chaos. By linking Boozie's name to Kanye's controversy, Charleston built himself a never-ending attention loop. Every time Kanye trended, Charleston dragged Boozie's name right back into it, painting him as the loud critic who wasn't real enough to talk. That became Charleston's whole playbook, turning other people's anger into his content. But the second he switched targets, from Kanye to Boozie's son, the whole game changed. That wasn't trolling anymore. That was stepping into forbidden territory. And when he dragged King Harris into the mix, things went nuclear. King's young, confident, and fiery. He's not the type to sit quiet while someone disrespects him. The moment Charleston mocked him, King came swinging back with raw, unfiltered energy that shook the internet. And behind him, his father, T.I., standing firm, ready to back him all the way.
Well, Charleston White was celebrating you taking the plea deal. I think he even said he hopes you die in jail and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard.
The biggest thing right now was that you actually accepted a plea deal for your federal gun case.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been like fighting this thing from the very, very beginning?
I've been fighting for probably 3 years now, probably.
3 years.
Let them white folk, Boosie, you done got too much. You done let these niggas play you too mother. This internet book dumb and it. Say what Lil Tootie go do now? What Lil Tootie say? Listen, Vlad TV. Vlad post everybody going to jail but Boosie. Somebody tag Vlad TV.
Charleston, that's when the situation stopped being a petty feud and turned into something much bigger. A generational clash between old school fathers defending their legacies and a man who profits off chaos. You had Charleston on one side clowning the new wave of rap kids, calling them spoiled, fake, and destined to crash out like they were born for drama. And on the other side, you had fathers and sons standing together shoulder to shoulder saying loud and clear, family comes before all that industry nonsense. That's why the internet couldn't get enough of it. This wasn't just another rap beef. It was fathers versus a troll, legacy versus disrespect, and the whole culture standing up against chaos. Charleston's wild antics made him go viral, sure, but it was the way people responded that gave this story its real power. When Boozie stared dead into the camera and told Charleston, "Don't mess with my family," that clip exploded everywhere because that moment wasn't just entertainment. It hit something real, something every parent could feel deep down. It spoke about fatherhood, pride, and loyalty. People didn't share it just because it was Boozie. They shared it because they understood that line. Don't talk about my kids. That's a universal rule. Same thing with T.I. When he stepped up for King, he wasn't chasing views or headlines. He was showing the world what it means to stand tall for your child when someone tries to tear them down. The respect in that moment was heavy. You could feel it through the screen. But Charleston, he's no fool. He knows exactly what he's doing. Every reaction, every headline, every repost, it's all fuel for his machine. He laughs, brushes it off, and says, "They can't touch me, I'm protected." He keeps throwing jabs because he knows it's a win-win either way. If Boozie or T.I. respond, he gets more clicks. If they ignore him, he spins it like he already won. That's his entire play. Push buttons, stir chaos, and keep the spotlight glued to his name. But here's the real thing, the part Charleston doesn't seem to get. When you start disrespecting someone's kids, you're not playing in the world of clout anymore. You're playing with something sacred, honor. And that's something men like Boozie and T.I. don't gamble with. That's a code they live by. Now the internet's divided watching all this unfold. Some say Charleston's just doing what he always does, chasing clout and staying relevant. But others are starting to wonder if maybe, just maybe, he finally crossed a line he can't laugh his way out of. A lot of people online believe Charleston's finally crossed that sacred line, the kind no man should ever step over. The debates have been wild, showing just how massive this story's become. Folks aren't just arguing about Charleston's words anymore. They're talking about what it really means to be a father, what it means to defend your family's name, and whether this type of trolling has gone too far to still be called entertainment. Because let's be real, Charleston's whole playbook only works if everyone treats the internet like it's just talk. But Boozie and T.I., they come from a world where talk can turn into action in seconds. They're not from that tweet it and forget it generation. Where they're from, words can carry real consequences. And then you got the sons, Tootie Raw and King Harris, front and center in this chaos. They're not just background characters watching from the sidelines, they've been clapping back hard. King especially made waves when he stood up to Charleston face-to-face online, matching energy with energy and letting everyone know he's not scared of confrontation. That moment split the internet in two. Half of people said, "Respect, he's standing up like a man," while the other half argued he was just feeding Charleston exactly what he wanted, attention. Either way, King's reaction shot him straight into the spotlight. Now everyone's watching him closer than ever. Every post, every word, every move. It's wild how fast this thing spiraled from petty internet beef to something that feels like a full-blown cultural moment. What makes this whole saga so captivating is the layers. You've got hip-hop history, fatherhood, internet trolling, generational pride, and even Kanye's influence still floating in the background like a ghost that started it all. Every single layer adds more heat, making the fire burn brighter and wilder. Meanwhile, Charleston's sitting there laughing it all off, acting like it's all just another viral moment. But underneath that laugh, the tension keeps growing. The vibe has shifted. This isn't playful anymore. It's gone from jokes to genuine disrespect, and everyone in the culture can feel that. Boozie and T.I. aren't men you play games with, especially not when their kids' names are on the line. As this whole story keeps spiraling, the question isn't whether Charleston will keep talking, it's when someone finally decides they've had enough. The drama's been snowballing nonstop, and the entire culture is locked in, glued to every new clip, wondering how far this madness can really go. Charleston White's out here laughing like it's all just a big game, tossing out insults and doubling down every single time, acting like he's got nothing to lose. He walks around like he's untouchable, bragging about how rappers can't lay a finger on him without catching a case. That talk only makes him louder, more reckless, more confident. With every live stream, he's daring people, Boozie, T.I., anybody, to take the bait, to give him a reason to flip the script and play the victim. It's a risky bait and switch game, and Charleston's mastered it like a pro. But for everyone watching, it's not funny anymore. It's starting to feel dangerous. You can tell Boozie's energy shifted. Real fans saw it instantly. At first, his silence looked like patience, like he was rising above the noise. But when Charleston kept dragging Tootie Raw's name over and over, that calm turned into warning energy, the kind that speaks louder than any threat. And when Boozie finally spoke, you could feel it in your chest. His voice carried weight. It wasn't rap talk. It wasn't for clicks or clout. It was a father laying down the law. Don't talk about my kids. That one sentence hit harder than any diss track. It was simple, clear, and powerful enough to make the entire internet pause. For a split second, everyone remembered. No matter how wild things get online, there are still lines you just don't cross. You can clown Boozie's music, his career, his money, whatever, but once you bring his son into it, that's when you step into real-life danger. And T.I., he made that point crystal clear too. He didn't sugarcoat it, didn't play polite. He stepped up for King Harris, not as a rapper protecting another public figure, but as a father protecting his child. That wasn't about image, it was about love, responsibility, and pride. The internet lit up after that moment. People were dropping comments saying things like, "This is what real fatherhood looks like," and T.I. standing on business, because no matter how big these men get when it comes to their kids, they're dads first, entertainers second. And when a father puts that armor on, it doesn't matter who you are or what clout you chase. Lines get drawn and consequences follow. That's exactly why Charleston's antics stopped being funny. He thought he was untouchable, but now the energy's different. The air feels tense, unpredictable. This isn't just a viral feud anymore. It's a moment where words could turn into real-world smoke, and everyone watching knows it. This wasn't just internet trolling anymore. It was poking at pride, honor, and fatherhood, 3 things you never play with. Meanwhile, the sons had become full-on characters in this wild saga. King Harris went head-on with Charleston, calling him out live and daring him to keep running his mouth. That IG Live lit the internet on fire. People replayed it non-stop, breaking it down like it was a heavyweight championship match. Some folks said King was being reckless, giving Charleston exactly what he wanted, attention. But others saluted him for standing his ground, refusing to let a grown man clown him without a response. Either way, King made noise, and that live cemented him right in the middle of the storm. Tootie Raw might have been quieter, but his name was the spark that made Boozie finally break his silence. He was the reason that fatherly warning hit so deep. Together, these sons weren't just background characters. They were proof of how far Charleston's disrespect had gone. They showed the world this wasn't just jokes anymore. This was personal. And here's where it gets real. Charleston thrives off attention, but even attention has limits. You can only poke at the same fire for so long before it burns back. At first, people laughed at Charleston's wild talk, treating it like another viral stunt. But then the mood shifted. The jokes started feeling uncomfortable. The laughs got quieter. Now people are asking the real question. How long can this go on before something real happens? Because in the world Boozie and T.I. come from, when you disrespect a man's family, words don't stay words forever. That's the part of the story that makes everyone uneasy. The dangerous truth hiding underneath all the memes and clips. Charleston might keep laughing, brushing it off, saying he's protected, but Boozie and T.I. made it clear, this isn't a game to them. Fans online are already seeing the writing on the wall. They can feel the tension rising like something's about to snap. This isn't just about clout anymore, it's a ticking clock. Every new video Charleston drops, every time he mocks King or Tootie, every laugh he throws at their fathers, it all piles up. The culture is waiting to see who makes the next move. Will Boozie and Charleston finally cross paths face to face? Will T.I. step in again to defend his son? Or could King Harris be the one who decides to turn those Instagram live words into real-world action? Nobody knows yet, but everybody's watching closely. And that's what makes this story so wild, how something so small snowballed into something massive. It all started with a shirt, Kanye West's White Lives Matter stunt. From there, Boozie's public criticism lit a fire. Then Charleston mocked Boozie for speaking out, turned it into a game, dragged Boozie's son into it, and somehow pulled T.I.'s whole family into the flames too. What started as fashion controversy has turned into one of the most intense beefs the internet's ever seen. And now, the culture's just waiting, wondering how this story ends, and who's gonna be the one to say, enough. It's been a full-blown chain reaction of disrespect. What started as a petty internet feud has exploded into a cultural moment. And that's exactly why this one isn't just gonna fade away. Too many lines have been crossed, too much pride's on the table, and way too much family honor is tangled up in it now. This isn't just Charleston White trolling rappers anymore. It's way deeper than that. What we're seeing is what happens when internet games collide head-on with real-world codes of respect. It's that clash between clout chasing and principles, between likes and loyalty. And it's a powerful reminder that no matter how big social media gets, some things still don't change. Family always comes first, respect still means everything, and there are certain lines you just don't cross. Period. Boozie made that crystal clear when he stood up and said, "Don't talk about my kids." I backed it up loud and proud, showing the world that behind all the fame and money, these men are fathers first. And now everyone's watching to see if Charleston finally learns that lesson the hard way. Because at this point, the internet's divided. Some people say Boozie was right to send that warning, that he handled it like a real man protecting his family. Others think Charleston crossed a sacred line that should never have been touched. And then there's the big question, was King Harris smart to clap back and stand up for himself, or did he just hand Charleston more fuel to keep the fire burning? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this one's far from over. The story's still unfolding, and every day it's getting wilder. Will Charleston back down, or will he keep playing with fire until someone decides to remind him that the internet isn't a shield from real-life consequences? If you've been following this saga, you already know it's only heating up from here. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter. Hit that bell and tell your people to tune in, because the way this beef's unfolding, trust me, there's a whole lot more drama coming your way.